In this video, I am going to show you how to install Twenty CRM using Docker. We'll download the official Docker Compose files, configure the required environments variables, and start the containers and access your self-hosted CRM. So, let's get started. First of all, just go and verify that Docker is installed. Before installing Twenty CRM, make sure that you have the Docker and Docker Compose. If you're using Docker Desktop, confirm it's running before continuing. The official documentation recommends at least 2 gigabytes of available RAM for the deployment, so keep that in mind. So now you would like to go and open a terminal and create a folder for your installation. If you don't know how, you can use it or do that using make directory, then name it whatever you want, and cd to that directory. Of course, make directory is just mkdir if you don't know. And of course, this folder will contain your Docker Compose file and environment configuration. Inside that folder, we'll have to download the official configuration files. These files contain the default configuration recommended by Twenty teams. So basically, you'll have to run the following commands, and you can find those commands in the documentation of Twenty CRM if you want to copy them. Then we'll have, of course, to go and open the environment file or .env file. Before starting the application, make sure to generate a secure application secrets, replace the default app secrets as well, set a strong Postgres SQL password, and if you're hosting Twenty on a public server, update the server URL to match your domain or IP address. Then make sure to save the file once you've finished configuring it. Now you can go back to your terminal and run your docker compose up-d, and Docker will download the required images, basically create the containers, start the Postgres SQL, start Redis, and start the Twenty application. The first setup may take a few minutes depending on your internet connection. Once the container have finished starting, you can open a browser, and if you're using or if you're running everything locally, you can go to localhost 2.3000, and if you're using a server, open the domain example or IP address you configured and the .env file, and complete the initial setup by creating your administrator account and workspace. Log in, create all of those, and you should be good to go. Of course, if your Docker container won't start, make sure to run Docker Compose logs and to review the logs and identify basically any configuration issues. If you can't access the website, verify that the Docker container are running and the port 3000 isn't blocked and your server URL is configured correctly if you're using a remote server. And of course, keep in mind that you can update your Twenty later. You can pull newer images and redeploy your container when your new version become available. And the official documentation also includes guidance for backup and upgrades if you want to check those as well. So that's how you use or install Twenty CRM with Docker. If you found this helpful, hit that like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and goodbye.